Okay. Looks like our Vic may have had access to the back office, and it's possible we may find our murder weapon back there. That's enough to get a search warrant.
You know, these scissors look nice and sharp, but not heavy enough to cause that spatter pattern. A paper shredder. Look like he's got a fresh crop. The safe is locked. Since it's too small to hold a murder weapon, our search warrant doesn't let us unlock it. We'll need a different warrant to get in here. It's possible our blunt force bird didn't fly far from the coop after all. Let's see what Robbins has to say about this. You'll want a different tool for that. Something tells me this isn't baby powder. Let's run a narcotics test on it. A good idea to be thorough, but nothing's there. A good idea to be thorough, but nothing's there. Methamphetamine powder, aka speed, crank, chalk, or goes by any other name. Meth interferes with the brain's neurotransmitters. It affects the brain and spinal cord. They used to use it for diet pills and nasal decongestants, but today it puts their wreck in recreational drug. Well, looks like the prospective bride and groom had their prelim honeymoon on this desk. So, the cooperative Mr. Ackerman is holding out again. He'd been hit by a nasty lawsuit by the Vic. Maybe he pretended to mail his package, but instead waited for Mark to leave and went back in to serve as his client, stepping in the blood when he took his keys back. This key has Rachel's print on it, so it's possible she opened that locked office before she died. I wonder if our Hawk statue took flight back there.
At first I thought it might, but the Eagle's bill is much larger than whatever caused the actual puncture wound. This is definitely not the murder weapon.
Okay. Seeking evidence of the gallery owner's financial woes, which makes a good motive for murder. I know a judge I can call to open that safe.
Bank records. If Ackerman's got money trouble, this should tell us. What's this? Another controlled substance? Look, I'm no longer a betting man, but if I was... Well, well. These samples are the same stash as the other stuff we found. Maybe art isn't all that Mr. Ackerman's deal.
How's it going?
Close, Kath. Real close. Rookie's done good so far. We just found more meth at the gallery.
That doesn't fit what Doc Robbins says about the Vic's tox screen. Negative on meth in her system, so it wasn't meth-infused rage, no matter what you found.
Good to know. Okay, Rook. Let's see how somebody just saying yes to drugs figures in. We've done all we can with that item. Our gallery guy's busted flatter than a stretched canvas.
We have a hostile person who claims he wasn't there, but he has the Vic's blood on him. Let's talk.
I had her blood on my clothes plenty of times. Rachel had rhinoplasty a few years ago. Since then, she's had trouble with nosebleeds. She had one just before we went to the gallery. I noticed it. I changed my shirt before we left. All right. After our cool down in the back room, we got into another argument. She started all romantic and sweet, then surprised me with these theater tickets to the most expensive show in town, that Canadian chick who sings real high and all, but I told Rach I couldn't blow off my buddies who'd been planning this big bachelor party for me. She was so pissed. What do you want to see naked women for when you have me? I said, Rach, it's not a sex thing. It's a guy thing. I got to spend my last night of freedom with them. That set her off again, but I wasn't having any. I just stormed out of there.
Stormed out? Oh, I thought you kept your cool these days.
I did keep my cool. That's how I kept it, by just walking away. What I hate is that it ended like that we parted on that nasty note.
Stormed out? Oh, I thought you kept your cool these days.
Sure, sort of. I was on the highway, busting ass getting to my pals waiting for me downtown, so I can't prove it, but they'll verify when I showed up. How did you know that?
We found evidence of your semen inside of her.
Oh, Rachel had a predictable habit. Whenever she got really mad, she wanted to work it off. The fact that Ackerman left us alone, it just made things happen faster. It was the one thing that made her temper bearable. The makeup sex.
Mr. Stock, for a guy who suffered a blow like this, frankly, you seem kind of, clinical about your late fiancé.
I'll do my grieving my own way, pal. But I'm sure you'll find out about this anyway. I was on the verge of calling it off. The whole shooting match. Relationship, wedding, whole deal. Great sex is not enough for all this stress. Rachel was turning into an out-of-control, unreasonable nutcase of self-involved vanity. But I still loved her. No, I don't do that crap. Neither did Rachel. She had a lot of vices, but not that junk.
You're in luck. One of our Hawkeye detectives found your turkey in a dumpster by the gallery. It's got a broken beak and a few other surprises. Give it a close look.
Hey, Warwick. I could use an update on the art gallery homicide.
Sure. First, our new CSI is all over this thing. We've already got time of death and the murder weapon.
Not bad for your first night.
Yeah, well, let's not break our hand patting our back. We got miles to go before we sleep. Plenty of leads, but no firm suspects. Any ideas, Kath?
Sometimes the evidence we collect has more evidence on it. I suggest you give all your evidence another hard look. Murder weapon, especially. May find something key toward completing your trinity.
Okay, rookie. You heard the boss. Let's go back to square one with fresh eyes. So, the perched predator had a feast for his last supper. Let's test the blood to see what type of mammal was on the menu. Who's to say where this substance came from, since our murder weapon was found in that damn dumpster? Collected, though. You never know. Till you know. We've done all we can with that item. Well, the blood on the beak is Rachel's, and the beak fits the wound, so we have our murder weapon. But who killed her? Bingo. That custom paint from Patrick's brushes matches the paint on the murder weapon.
He's on his way to interrogation now.
The Nathan Ackerman Fine Art Studio has thrived over the past 12 years I've been in business, and we've never been more vital. I'm even expanding my staff. The suggestion that we are anything other than financially sound is an insult.
Well, let me add some injury to that insult. This shredded document says Rachel Maddox was suing you for a breach of contract.
Perhaps I should have mentioned that. But really, such minor disagreements are common in a business of this nature. All I can think of is that many of my clients are wealthy, and I'm dealing with artists constantly, and those are two classes of people who are known to use recreational drugs. Someone apparently used them in my back office without my knowledge.
Even though you keep it locked?
Well, if that's the case, it's a violation of my trust. I'd be lying if I said that those two weren't capable of such tasteless shenanigans, but it obviously didn't take place in my presence.
No, just in your gallery, in your back office. Is there anything else you neglected to mention?
Insults upon insult. I cooperate fully, and this is what I get. But it might be possible that Rachel and Mark brought that meth into my space. After all, if they were capable of semi-public fornication, what weren't they capable of?
Good point. Only we found drugs in your safe.
Maybe they found some way to get past the lock, and planted those drugs in there to cause me difficulties. Rachel was suing me after all.
I'm afraid not. Toxicology on Rachel came up negative for meth.
No, I'm getting back on my feet. It's a phase in the life of a successful business. Yes, I've stared bankruptcy in its foul face, but not because of any malfeasance or incompetence on my part. It's the unreliable likes of these artists, and Patrick Milton is the poster child of these irresponsible flakes. And since I am indeed filing Chapter 11, the threat of a lawsuit means nothing.
Maybe so. But that stash of meth means something. Like you're dealing, maybe?
I keep hearing you want to cooperate, Mr. Ackerman. That works better without lies.
I do not deal in drugs. That was a misguided effort on my part to buy a commodity that I could turn around and give to Patrick Milton in exchange for some of what I owed him, and make a sort of profit doing it. I had to keep him happy, because the money Rachel Maddox would pay for the wedding artwork would have gone a long way toward getting me out of this financial hole. Is that forthright enough for you?
But you didn't get art from Patrick, or money from Rachel. So you struck back at the both of them and grabbed that statue, killing two stones with one bird.
I killed no one. I mailed a package.
If you did, it wasn't at your regular shipping service, because nobody there remembers seeing you. We've even checked their surveillance tapes, and you aren't starring in them. You don't even make a cameo appearance.
I do have an alibi. I really do. But it's rather embarrassing. You see, I was with my dreadful term, bookie. Here I am, a long-time Vegas resident, and I make the same mistake as the stupid tourist. I try to get ahead by betting. And what money I did have, I lost. As you probably already know, I am financially ruined. Finished. But I've said I'd cooperate, and I will. Here's the number to call to confirm.
Ackerman's alibi checks. He was with his bookie, all right. But we got him on ice for holding and possibly dealing. You've got some good evidence on Patrick. I can call a judge and get a search warrant to cover anything with paint on it. Is that wide enough of a brush for you?
it.